Now it's time to get to my top 3 picks of which is my favorite fights in Usyk's career. So, guys, my number 1 pick is definitely Oleksandr Usyk versus Tyson Fury 1. Definitely an easy pick. It was an easy fight. It was a pretty tough, close fight, and it was pretty good. But you viewers might be really confused about my next picks. Number 2 would have to be Maris Breedis for the semifinals of the Cruiserweight tournament in 2018. And my number 3 pick is Tony Bellew for the Cruiserweight Undisputed title defense. Like, you look back at those fights were memorable. But, guys, the thing is, guys, I enjoyed the other fights he had in his career, recovering from Marco Huck and his dirtiness, making a wild comeback from Michael Hunter, and even talking about his amazing win for Derek Chisora. But here's the thing, guys. Guys, the reason I picked Tony Bellew at number 3 and Maris Breedis as number 2 and Tony Bellew number 3 on the list more than his heavyweight fights with AJ and Fury 2 and Dubois is because that AJ had problems after because he didn't recover always, because he might have was trying to regain his composure after his Andy Ruiz loss. Without that, it would have been a different story. And to be honest, I really can't say much about that other than it is what it is. Even Dubois tried to recover from his loss against Joe Joyce, and Fury was barely recovering from a lot of trash talk with his rematch against Derek Chisora in December 2022 and his Francis Ngannou, and he was already having problems with his career. And not only that, Fury came in the first fight at 262, only to weigh 281 the second fight. And Usyk was 223 and a half in the first and 226, the heaviest of Usyk's career in that second fight with Fury. And Fury was 281. So that was a tough fight for me to believe I deserved to be in the top 3. AJ, Dubois, and Chisora were having problems in their career, and it was pretty tough for me to believe that because they were already insufferable at the time. It was like watching Michael Spinks being a light heavyweight champion. He was a great light heavyweight champion, but he was forgotten. He was an undisputed light heavyweight champion, and when he went up to heavyweight, won 2 fights against Larry Holmes, had a title defense against Jerry Cooney, and then another guy that I don't know much about. And after Michael Spinks was stripping out every single title in his career until he lost against Tyson for his lineal-weight title, it was ridiculous. But yet again, Usyk did a little bit better because Usyk did remind me of Michael Spinks. Like I said before, Usyk had a better career as a cruiserweight, and I think that has to be more deserved. I want to talk about more about his cruiserweight fights than his heavyweight fights. But yet again, guys, seeing Usyk fight in 2020 to 2024 and his last 6 fights in the 2020s are all British fighters is pretty tough for me to look at. So, yeah, his Maris Breedis and Tony Bellew fight in 2018, and even though his Usyk and Fury 1 fight were number 1, his cruiserweight fights do have an interesting thing to talk about, and I think that's something we should talk about more, about how he became a cruiserweight champion. At the end of the day, you guys have your own opinions. What do you think? Well, if you guys have your favorite top 3 fights of Usyk fights, let me know in the comments. Thank you for you viewers watching this episode. And with that being said, the Foxwell says out for the Gloat Podcast. See you next time.